All right, kicking it off with the man that once put a stamp on the fact that he is the greatest rapper of all time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like, you know, back when he used to claim these things, right? It was pretty much, it felt solid. It felt like something that would be immovable, unchangeable. You know what I'm saying? But now in an age where digital footprint can age, you know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me, do y'all think the statements of him being the greatest rapper of all time, Lil Wayne that is, come on, you know, we talking about Lil Wayne, by the way, do you think, you tell me whether it aged properly or it aged you know, badly, right? The whole statement of him being a legend. Well, okay, legendary status, I don't think we can take that away from the man. But I'm not gonna lie, whatever he went through, I mean, that biggest, you know, experience that brought significant transformation in Wayne's journey, you know what I'm saying? His whole little thing with the record label he was signed with, that whole thing, I think it changed a lot of people's POV on Wayne, right? Let's see how that turned out.
I'm just mad reactive, but my heart ain't with the drill shit. Can't wait to grow out of this rip that is sweet as honey and peaches to me. Free the magazine to dump on enemies, cause buddy, you can't do me wrong, then live to tell the reasons. I mean, this shit ain't sweet pea till I humble me from the sea. Yeah, mercurial blood vessels, my skin do shine.
Well, don't come at me with your rocks yet, man. Let me just correct myself, right? He did claim to be the greatest rapper alive. Yeah. Remember that little ad-lib? Yeah. Easy, baby. Please say the F, cause the F is for phenomenal or some shit like that. Yeah, I remember that was even a thing when they were like, bro, F, like, phenomenal doesn't even start with the letter F, brother. Like, what are we talking about? Like, can you even spell right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? F is for phenomenal. Nah, F is for fucking amazing. Nah, some shit. Like, he, like, come up with something. I know y'all remember that, bro. So yeah, he claimed to be the greatest rapper alive. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tell me who won. Did that age nicely or badly, right? Little Wayne, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it.
I'm a slave for your ear. I'll die to make what you hear great.
And did you ever think, am I a good role model? You know, am I a good example for people on how to live their lives?
I'm not an example for people on how to live their lives, and never in my life would I ever set out to be an example for people on how to live their lives. If you need an example for how to live, then you just shouldn't have been born.
You know, I've never been one for features. I remember just being like, yo, this project, like, I really want Wayne on it. I didn't want to get him on some, like...
Yo, let's take a moment of silence to honor, like, the legend of Wayne, though. Come on, bro. Legendary status. That's why I said in the intro, we cannot take the legendary nature out of his status. Like, we cannot take that away from him, right? But the aging of just like the journey, you know what I mean? The bumps along the way, this and that and the third, you know what I'm saying? Like did that age probably, like business, politics, feel me? Wayne and his current image, even what is this, reputation, right?
Swag shit, like with him, like just rapping and talking shit and stunting. Like, my favorite Wayne is like introspective Wayne, you know? It's like talking about some shit, but no matter how deep he goes, or just like him slowing down for a little bit and just like talking.
My life matter, especially to my
I am hip-hop. And I ain't dead, I'm alive.
Oh shit.
Ladies and gentlegrams, The Martian made moments in 2008. Now naysayers saying he was never even great. April Fool's Law, ladies and gentlegrams. I'm still in my fall-off era thanks to J. Cole, and the rhyming intros are retired for now. Drop a comment if you want them back, or if you're happy they're gone.
I study
Rapaholics
for a living.
It was a cold Canadian fall in 2006, and a 10-year-old Rapaholics went to the CD store with his amazing mother, who allowed him to purchase the clean version of Lil Wayne's CD, The Carter 2. He asked her, why is there a label on certain CDs that say parental advisory explicit content? What does explicit content mean? Oh, this was actually a year later when Rapaholics bought Graduation by Kanye West. And she specifically quoted the intro off that album when Kanye raps, "Good morning, look at the valedictorians, scared of their future while I hop in a DeLorean. Scared to face the future, complacent career students. Some people graduate, but they're still stupid." And she said,
So that's your top two Mount Rushmore, Wayne and Ye. Okay, Rapaholics, man. I see you.
they put that little sticker on the album so that kids like you, impressionable minds, can't hear these artists who have it all talk about the advantages to not pursuing a college degree and getting a safe job.
Yeah, facts.
After all of that, you receive this.
Because they knew you would want to do the same thing. You would want to drop out of school too. Duh.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kanye. Shut the f up.
No, I think that sticker really more so applied to later Kanye
Yeah.
bars like, if I just F this model and she just
Whoop-dee-dee
reached her
scoop.
butthole and I get it on my t-shirt, I'ma feel like a butthole. But that conversation always stuck with me, and I feel like it reflects what we're hearing right now in terms of discourse around Lil Wayne. Because recently, Lil Russell, really dope rapper from California, he was speaking on how when he was a kid, like most of us, he was so infatuated with Lil Wayne as a rapper, but as he grew older, matured, and gained new perspective and values on life, he realized that a lot of what
Nah, bro. Okay, look. Let me just give my take on why I think people have grown a disdain for Wayne. This was the words of Lil Russell. It was like, yo, I've grew a disdain for Wayne. I feel like, yo, it's about like how like the transformation of his reputation, right? From him. Did he win or lose the battle with him against Cash Money, right? Things like that, right? Wait, let me see. Let me see what the final outcome was, because I ended up not even caring what was going on with it, right?
Hello there, Sizway.
Yes, co-pilot. So did Lil Wayne win his legal battle against Cash Money?
Lil Wayne did reach a settlement in his legal battle with Cash Money Records back in 2018. He regained ownership of his music and was able to release his album independently.
But while he was going through that whole back and forth with his legal battle, right, with Cash Money, what did that do to his reputation as far as how his fans saw him?
It definitely put him in a bit of a complicated spot for a while. Some fans were frustrated with the delays in his music, but overall, a lot of them still supported him.
Yes,
it was
more of the delays in the music and the promise of rolling out the music, right? The disappointment that the fans had because of that, right?
Exactly, you got it. It was really about those delays and the music rollout. Fans were just waiting and waiting, so that was where the disappointment came from.
What was Lil Wayne's energy towards his accountability, his own contribution in what was going on around his name? What was his energy like about the like his contribution to it? Was he positive about it? Was he like motivational about it? I don't know. Like was he just like considerate of his fans even? Like as a general artist?
He actually kept quite a positive energy about it. He was often appreciative of his fans and tried to keep them in the loop. Even though the situation was tough, he stayed resilient and was definitely considerate of his supporters along the way.
So it was the fact that like his fans would just like not gain the music. That was like parasocial as fuck though, if you ask me. So people just like fell out of love. Like what is the disdain though? Is what I'm trying to hear from Lil Russell, because he literally said, I got this disdain for Wayne, right? I don't know, maybe even the adaptation of new ways of delivering the music, delivering the raps. You know what I'm saying? His flow had kind of felt outdated, especially from Carter 6. Right? A whole lot of people had moved on to just like, well, a whole lot of the game and how hip-hop music sounds, it like with the raps and what was moving the culture forward. Yeah, it just like it didn't align with how Wayne was delivering his shit. That was my whole POV about it, right? And so that, like in that case, it's natural for somebody to just like fall out of love in terms of just, you know, your music. because that's what established the distance between me and Wayne's music. I'm not gonna lie, right? I don't know, when was that? Was that like around 2018, 2019? When did Carter 6 drop? Somewhere there. What was hot? I don't know. I think Travis Scott was going crazy. You know, people like that, like the younger crowd was actually, they were solidifying themselves like as the main guys now. The Travis Scotts, I think Tory Lanez as well was pulling up. And I'm only trying to recall like what was on the radio, what was hot on the radio. And you gotta remember, I'm in like a third world country, like I'm in South Africa, dog. So whatever charts there, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you chart there, like yeah, you come on, bro, like you were something, because they, you know, they cared about you so much to push you like in third world countries. I think even Sway Lee had some shit on the charts. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to just reflect back on what was going on, but yeah, it's pretty crazy that people fell out of love just because of what he was going through, like, right? Because now obviously he was gonna delay the projects, he was going through something with his label, man. Come on, it's
what
natural.
Lil Wayne rapped about didn't have a lot of substance behind it, and if anything could have been negatively impacting the youth.
What up, though? One of the homies put me on Wayne, and it was like bars. I used to have a notebook, just bars.
What was your introduction to Wayne?
So there's two introductions to Wayne.
Yeah.
There's an
Damn, did I say Carter 6? I was actually talking about Carter 5. Wait, let me just clarify when these projects came out. Right? Hold on.
Hello there, Sizway.
Yeah, Co-Pilot. When did the Carter 5 drop?
In 2026, the qualifying draw took place
oh my God.
earlier
no,
in the year.
No. When did Lil Wayne release his Carter 5 album?
Lil Wayne released his The Carter 5 album on September 28th, 2018.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the Carter 5, guys, not the Carter 6, okay? Carter 5, guys, not the Carter 6. Because I remember that's the one that had the Triple XXXTentacion feature, right, Co-Pilot?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so yeah, Carter 5. That's when No, what the fuck I'm talking about? Oh yeah, nah. Carter 5 was actually hot. It was lit, right? It's just that's when like some songs he was getting out of touch in terms of the delivery that he was giving. Right, Carter 6, it was solidified. It was like, yeah, he's out of touch. Like he is in his own bubble, and I feel like being in his own bubble a lot kind of affected him in a net negative way. Right, I mean, his delivery, bro, it outdated. That whole song with the instrumental sounds like some jungle vibes, like jungle ABC kind of vibes. I don't know, and then he's just like talking about like nothing really, right? That's what I actually meant before. Like I was about to trip off of some other shit.
Introduction to Wayne,
My
that's
fault.
through culture and your parents that you have no merit in,
right?
And then there's an introduction when you get to like dive, and mine's I think it was like the Drought 2, and that was like my
Drought
reintroduction
2.
to like, man, dedication mixtapes, the Droughts, like I just
Drought
got
3
immersed.
was lit.
Man, this was pre No Ceilings.
Yeah.
I messed with Drought 3 heavy.
I mean, the Carter
Carter
1 and Carter 2 were amazing.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're like positively talking about Lil Wayne because our last guest on Lil Wayne so hard.
I love Wayne so much, but
Well, that was before Lil Russell was about to shit on Wayne.
I understand how someone could be like, man, this isn't the Wayne that like I remember.
Right.
You know? No, I had a moment in my journey where I had grew a disdain for Wayne
There we
just
go.
because
Disdain for Wayne.
I started listening to everything. Like I started maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, this wasn't talking about nothing.
So perspective is what contributed to you growing this disdain for Wayne, because you're grown now. You see life differently now. You were excited about, you know, the bars, the rhyme schemes, but then now you grow older, you start understanding the English language a bit deeper. Your vocab expands a little bit more. You understand things at a deeper level. You listen back at Wayne. But like, yo, we've always knew Wayne was like talking about nothing but pussy, money, weed. Right? I mean, he has a whole song saying he likes those things. Pussy, money. You understand what I'm saying? So, I don't like, I've always knew, like, for me, it was the excitement of, for example, his flows, bro. Rhyme scheme patterns and things like that, right? Alliterations, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like his use, his just like, even like formation of double entendres, double triple meanings in one line. And those things land. It's like that, like the technical shit, he killed it from the get-go. Bro, from Lollipop went crazy. Like Lollipop, I feel like Lollipop, man, that was one of the songs that literally like, okay, who's this guy? Like on a global level. Literally, I think I was in like grade 6 B. Back in the back of the day. Don't get it twisted, you know. Not Unk though, but yo, Lollipop wasn't about shit. Let's face it. It was about licking dick, eating that meat, eating that schlong.
For a long time, and like as someone who like grew up in these communities, right, and grew up with homies who I seen want to be bloods because they following Wayne and want to be gangster and want to shoot all the gun bar and shit. Right. Like I've seen the negative that he contributed to the community, and I had to look like, man, what are the songs where he really talked about something and gave? And out of 1,000-song catalog, you know, it's minute on this end.
It's like Georgia Bush,
and that do bother me. Man, Tie My Hands.
That's what I was gonna say. Tie My Hands is the only one I can think of.
And that's the thing. It's like if I hug you once, but I slap the shit out you 1,000 times, you know, your affinity for me is going. You're probably gonna remember me for this. And a lot of people don't. You know, as I mature, a lot of my old favorite artists, I'm now like, damn.
What up, though?
Man, what up with that? With that yell. The background.
I love you because I learned how to rap to you, but when you look at the contribution, it's like, man. But he was also a kid.
Yeah,
Wayne was a kid.
Yeah. He was like 14, 15 when he came out.
Man, a kid.
Like, you know, because think about it, he was dropped out of school at 13 years
Yes,
old. Like,
right.
You know, you're just like,
and he was adopted by gangsters, indoctrinated to a whole
Adopted
system.
by the projects.
It was like he gave everything he could, and I love Wayne.
Yo, let me quickly give this perspective right quick though. I feel like Wayne was young when he blew up, right? Wayne was young when he kind of like got exposed to you know, the industry, the game, and everything like that. But you got to understand, he then became a leader at a young age, right? He became a leader. You see how, you know, the trajectory of his music done blew, like it done blew up like across radio stations globally. You know what I'm saying? He was doing like global tours, right? Ever since like the Carter series, really. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you're a leader now. You've got a whole lot more people eyes on you now, right? AKA the industry. It's not like just people who are pleased with with your music in your neighborhood, or people that you just happen to share the music with. At the time, man, you know, the internet was not what it is right now. So, you know, artists like Lil Wayne did rely on gatekeepers and gatekeeping and people to just like, you know, spread his music within their environments. Like there were certain gatekeepers. He was going crazy on radio. He was going crazy on TV. Going crazy, just, you know what I'm saying? Popularity wise. And so therefore now there's a whole lot more people to please. You gotta please a whole lot more people. Now, where am I going with this? Yes, you can, you know, you can be one of those artists that believe in a strong niche. You know what I'm saying? You're just catering to like what your people like about you in terms of like how you reflect you know, the relatable aspects of you and the aspects of you that can connect with your crowd. You know what I'm saying? But there's a limit to that. You feel what I'm saying? You can keep on doing that, but you're not gonna appeal to now these other eyes that are like staring at you now. Now you're a hot boy now, right? The irony in that, he's like, he was part of a group called Hot Boys, right? Some shit like that. But you're a hot boy now. He was a hot boy now. You know what I'm saying? So now, not all those eyes, and obviously now, that's how you feed yourself. That's now a form of income. You're making all this money. It's like you gotta be on your toes to please this higher audience, this bigger audience. You know what I'm saying? So not only the deep songs, not only just the relatable songs from your hood and from your neighborhood, and your mama, your family, and you know how things was in like New Orleans, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like not the whole world is gonna relate to that. But when you literally talk about nothing, I don't know, just speak to something that just excites the human flesh, excites the human desire materialistically. You know what I'm saying? You might get something. You might get that appeal that the mainstream would like chop up in terms of, oh shit, the people are excited about this. That's because now he was trying to reach out to the global level of relating to people, right? Talking about, yo, lick my dick, lick my lollipop. You know what I'm saying? Going crazy on tracks like See Money We. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that blew up that like kind of made it seem like he ain't speaking about nothing. Even freestyle tracks like what is that, Amelie? Remember that Amelie one? That one went crazy. I was still in middle school, bro. That shit went crazy, right? But then he was balancing that shit out because he did have that depth to him too. But as I said, he couldn't just focus on just the depth because there's a wider audience that are not you're gonna lose them, trying to relay your kind of depth. You know what I'm saying? So tracks like like his first appearance on the song that I was exposed to was that dollar bill, young dollar bill with Wyclef Jean. That shit was deep, right? I mean, there's deep stuff like even in his like whole entire catalog, shit that went deep, bro. Shit that exposed the fact that he shot his own self at like a tender age, though. You know what I mean? Being part of like, or the negative effects of being part of these gangs and all that kind of stuff. How to love, exposing scars. Come on, man. Yes, he was a mad aggressive guy, but like, that's how he could just appease the whole, scope of the audience that had their eyes on him now. That's just my whole thing about it.
Now, I think this is a really interesting conversation to be had, but also quite sad in a certain sense. Now, I said in a previous video, as someone who's been very critical of Wayne's music and moves over the last 2 years, as someone who, like most people in 2026, may suffer some recency bias just because of how reactionary and fast the internet moves, but someone who also grew up on Wayne, right? Who the first CD I ever bought with my own allowance was a Wayne CD. I've been emphasizing that I think it's important that even if Wayne gives us 10 more Carter 6s.
Carter 6s? 10 more?
Even if Wayne cries for 20 more years during 20 different Super Bowl halftime shows that he was not able to perform at, we should still never forget the monumental run that Wayne went on, his impact on music as we know it, and the positives he brought to the game through his music and his message. Let's not forget that Lil Wayne put out his first album almost 31 years ago. Yes, 30 with a 3. Rapper BG, who was going by Lil Dougie at the time, collaborated with Lil Wayne, who was going by Baby D at the time, who was 12 years old, and they released a project together on Cash Money Records called True Story in July of 1995.
Damn.
Yes, my brother. I'm Baby D from that grown motherfucker.
I say that to say, if you want to talk about Wayne not
talking that spicy, hey man, yeah.
having any real substance or not talking about anything positive within his music for the most part. You have to look at two different factors. A, he's been doing this for 30 freaking years, right? Has given us thousands of songs. We can dissect, and we will dissect, the ratio of, you know, positive versus negative songs. But keep in mind, the man has thousands of songs that have been released, right? And then on top of that, I just showed you guys, he released his first album when he was 12 years old. This is a man who was then a kid and got brought into the industry before he could ever experience any real world issues for himself. So sometimes when you hear Wayne speak on certain things,
oh, bro, that yell, bro, it throws me off, bro. What are you doing with that yell, bro? Rapaholics.
Whether it's in the music or outside the music, it's just kind of important to note that you're listening to the perspectives and thoughts of a man who has lived a very sheltered and unique lifestyle, right? So obviously, the way he views and raps about world issues is going to be very different than someone who actually experienced those issues firsthand. With that in mind, that doesn't excuse him for having no substance or sometimes saying things that are just flat out wrong.
I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man. My life matter, especially to my.
But ultimately, Lil Wayne is a very unique case, and with all that he's given to hip-hop, to music as a whole, 30 plus years devoting his life to this craft. As we dissect his catalog, I don't think it's fair to say that Lil Wayne has contributed a net negative to the genre or that he was never talking about anything.
But that's what I'm saying, though. A whole lot of the game is now, you know, chalking it up to like, yo, it was like net negative, because now you hear of his reputation. You mentioned Lil Wayne. It's like, yeah, Wayne, what about him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not no, yo, the depth in people's eyes, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh shit, Wayne. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's not supposed to be that way because, again, like, yo, the saturation of even a whole lot of people who are legendary. Like, the lists are endless, right?
The Lil Wayne disrespect is getting out of hand. You have rappers on podcasts trying to say Lil Wayne has no substance or Lil Wayne would lose to T.I. in a verses. Let's talk substance. Pray to the Lord, Something You Forgot, Georgia Bush, Tie My Hands, Trouble, Gossip. He got on an Outkast track and out-substance Outkast. Jay-Z retired, Nas tried to say hip-hop was dead and Lil Wayne kept it relevant. Cooking their asses on songs like Last of a Dying Breed or Beat Without Bass.
Last of a freaking dying breed, boy. Ah, shit, I don't remember that one.
While Wayne was giving us elite lyricism, on the side he created a whole subgenre of hip-hop with his leaned out harmony.
The sky is the limit. I think that was on Drought 3 or some shit like that. That one might have not been about nothing, but it sounded deep.
Wayne did with auto-tune and songs like Me and My Drink is as influential as what Kanye did with 808s. I don't care. Young Thug and his children don't exist without Wayne. Cardi's last two albums are a direct product of Lil Wayne. Rebirth, despite getting a negative reception, created modern rage music. Songs like I Feel Like Dying and his verse on Gorilla Zoe's Lost created artists like Lucky. Drake was a conscious rapper Trey Songz hybrid until Wayne signed him and took him under his wing. Kendrick Lamar was out here making Carter 3 remakes and admiring Wayne cook up on.
This nigga went rock from being a hip-hop artist before Machine Gun Kelly would have the idea to go that route. Facts. Look it up. Do your homework.
On songs like All My Life with J-Rock. Wayne was so dominant that he had people memorizing Mac Main and Birdman verses. Wayne did any and everything. He started rapping in patois at one point. I hate the fake pretentious rap fans who act like substance needs to sound like preposterous proportions. I never needed endorsements. You could put your favorite rapper in a chamber for 10 years and tell them to make a song that's as elite as the Dedication 6 intro. It would just be time wasted. Stop the Wayne disrespect. He's better than your favorite rapper.